know it, you know it. Let's just agree together. Cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls, they are a fall favorite, but forget the forks. This recipe bakes them up in cookie form. These soft, flavorful cookies are drizzled with cream cheese icing and baked with a beautiful cinnamon sugar swirl. Baker Khara Westergard turned the cinnamon roll on its side for an extra sweet and handheld treat. These look like mouth-watering delicious. They look so good.
Oh, thank you. We had a lot of fun with them.
What inspired you to come up with this recipe?
So I just wanted some cinnamon to warm up into fall. And before all the other spices hit, you know, I thought cinnamon, turn a cinnamon roll into a handheld cookie. Just, you know.
I like how you described it as our gateway treat
Yes.
for fall. We're gonna
Yes.
slide right in there. We're starting with your favorite sugar cookie recipe.
Right, so this is with the sugar cookie recipe, but what people don't realize is that there are multiple kinds of sugar cookie recipes. So I have like a Pillsbury copycat recipe, which is buttery and chewy. I have like a soda shop recipe that is dense and underbaked, but this one is your fluffy, big soft sugar cookie.
It's like mom's sugar cookies.
Yeah, and that's what best mocks the flavors and textures of a cinnamon roll.
Okay, all right.
So we're gonna go into that. We're gonna start with our flour first, and you can just do cake flour, or you can do regular flour and add some cornstarch.
It's one of my common cooking Google searches is, if I don't have cake flour, what do
can I
use?
do?
Yeah, so there you go.
Add the cornstarch because that helps it to get fluffy like cake flour. So, and then we're going to add some baking powder and salt, and that is simple enough, right? Just those 4 or 3 ingredients.
I like how I'm learning to back up so my belly doesn't get in your way.
Oh, you're so cute.
You know how early on you're trying to bridge the gap between the counter and the chair or whatever, and now I've just given up. Just back it up, Brooke. Just back it up.
No, you're great.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it for the dry ingredients. Really simple. And then over here with our wet ingredients, we just have butter and sugar that's already been creamed together because that's loud and takes a while, right? But then to that, we're gonna go ahead and add an egg and vanilla.
Is this sour cream?
This is sour cream.
It's coming.
Yes, and before I add the sour cream, I'm gonna mix these together. Now, a lot of people wanna skip the sour cream and they like other recipes with just butter, but I like the sour cream because it's not really that much of an extra step, but it does help your cookies to be soft for longer.
Years ago, our longtime and beloved cooking contributor, Becky Lowe, kind of extended herself and said, all sugar cookies need sour cream. It became this big statement, semi-controversy, because everyone has their favorite recipe. But what does this do exactly to a recipe, the sour cream?
So it just helps it to stay soft, and it does help it helps to act with the baking powder. Okay. Because it is an acid. And so it helps it rise more too, everything gets more fluffy, and it just stays moist longer because of the dairy that we're adding in.
We now have 2 confirmed testimonies. Becky Lowe, Khara Westergard, both endorsing the sour cream.
Yes, and especially when you want it to be a fluffy sugar cookie, that's what you want to do.
Okay.
Because also we're doing butter. We're not doing any hydrogenated oils in
pains you to even say
in
that
the
word.
Crisco.
Yes,
it does.
yes. Okay.
Yeah. So Crisco will help keep things, soft
All right,
longer,
we combine the 2 into a dough.
Yes, sorry, I'm talking too long. Now let's go on, move these. We make a dough with that. And we'll just skip ahead because we know that's gonna make a dough. Yeah. It does get a little sticky, so I like to put it in the fridge and let it chill for a while. I don't like to just put it in one clump because then you've got, it takes longer to get to the core. So you roll it out before you refrigerate. Sometimes you can, that's a little, but I do put it on some plastic wrap and flatten it. Okay. And so it's not quite as flat as this, but I will bring it, it's about this big. Okay. And then I roll it out, but I'm rolling it out between 2 parchment papers because that's just kind of what I'm used to doing when I'm doing my cutout cookies. And so I just did it again here. And I do that with my cutout cookies because then I don't have extra flour mixing in when we, re-roll it out and all that kind of stuff. But so for here, we're ready to go. I did spray my parchment paper between because it helps to spread it better if you've sprayed it. When we move to the pan to bake it, the parchment should not be sprayed. Okay. Do not spray your parchment for baking. But, so then I've made some filling here. When I make my cinnamon rolls, I like to just slather it with butter and then measure with my heart with the brown sugar and with the cinnamon. And a lot of people are comfortable with doing that if they're familiar with cinnamon rolls. If you're not, then go ahead and make this filling so that you can get, the desired results. And I like a lot of cinnamon, so I did put a lot of cinnamon into this recipe.
And this is just cinnamon sugar and...
Cinnamon, brown sugar, and butter. And if you don't like as much cinnamon, you can always adjust that. Okay. This is definitely a cinnamon forward.
So we are gonna roll it like a cinnamon roll.
We are.
Okay.
So I'll just put it all on and hurry and get going. Now, when you do roll it, we're just gonna go ahead and pretend like it's all spread nicely.
I see it perfectly spread. Yes, ma'am.
When you do roll, I want you to take the edge of the paper, and here's where being on paper is handy, is helpful. And I don't go all the way to the edge for all of it because this will just fold right over.
Just leave a gap.
Yep, this will fold right over and, you know, like that. But then you take this and you just start to push with that. And mine's really cold right now. I just pulled it out of your freezer. But then you just start to use it to roll it up, and it gets really nice.
Okay.
Then we can move on over here.
And you cut it from here.
We cut it from here, and my hands are super messy.
Let me grab you a towel.
All that cinnamon.
But you cut it and slice it like you would directionally, right? A cinnamon roll.
Yes. Now, some people slice with knives, and I feel like you have to have the right knife to pull that off.
There you go, sister.
So I would say, instead of doing a knife, get out your string.
Enter the string or the dental floss, right?
Or the unflavored dental floss.
No mint.
That's
no
right.
mint.
That's right. So we're going to cut a piece off here. And it sounds like you've done this before.
Well, on TV. On TV, as seen on TV, but not in my real kitchen.
So I'm going to lift that up, and I'm going to let you slide it underneath.
Oh, you're trusting me to do this?
Yes.
I don't think I cut
And then you're just going to cross them at the top and then pull until it goes all the way through. That's okay. You'll get better and better at it the more you do it. So you do get the clean cut with the string.
Beautiful.
And it doesn't take away your circle shape.
This is so fun. How long do we bake these for?
So we're gonna go to 350 in the oven for 11 minutes or so. And it comes out nice and soft, and then then
we drizzle.
Then we drizzle. So I actually like to take, so it's the same cream cheese frosting recipe as well, but I warm it up because then it goes over like a glaze.
Oh, Khara,
and I don't,
these look amazing.
Thank you. I don't want to like water it down with extra cream to make a glaze, so I prefer to just warm it and then drizzle it on. And so you can do that. So I have some over there that are all the way covered like a cinnamon roll, and if you're gonna do that, make sure you're wiping enough of it away that you can still see the swirl.
Because that's the art.
Yes,
in the middle of the cookie.
Your swirl.
All right.
But yes, for the Instagram best look, you can just take a bag and drizzle right across.
We love you. I love how you geek out on the science of cooking and help us get these beautiful baked goods in a fairly simple way. Where can we get this recipe from you?
So find me on Instagram at Balsamic Baker.
Balsamic Baker, you should be following. Yeah, we'll link you for sure. And these, what are we calling these?
These are cinnamon roll cookies.
Cinnamon roll cookies, a great gateway treat as we've deemed it into the fall baking season. Thank you so much. Balsamic Baker is where you want to go for more great recipes just like this.